Alright, well, welcome back, and well, let's continue. Things are grim then. So let's get into it right away. Let's see. So I think I played was it 3 hours on Thursday? And there was the whole stalking incident, and then there was the incident of the twin sister with the nose ring pretending to be her. But it's getting interesting now, what will exactly happen. There is also the whole elephant in the room about Lady Luna wanting to not be a Grim Reaper, and what will happen then. If she stops, will she just become human or disappear? All those concerns. But let me see. Yeah, and then I'll get the chat ready. Maybe I need to move a little bit just in case. Alright. The next morning, Clara awoke to a text. She could feel the air rushing back into her lungs. Lady Luna, I apologized for my brieveness when departing yesterday. As these things often go, there was a vital matter that swiftly required my careful attention. Kind of well. Haven't gotten used to reading this kind of all the words capitalized thingy, but well. Unfortunately, reflecting this, there is rather grim news that I must impart upon you. Okay. I do not think it is wise for us to meet again. There is a danger in the air, and I fear it will target you if I allow our dalliance to continue. That is he basically saying well, there's a risk of romance? Is that how it works? To be clear, this is not a sign of any anger that I have toward you. If you attempt to find such a thing within me, you would search for eons and still leave fruitless. It is purely selflessly that I tell you, stay away from me, Clara. I pray that there is a way for our paths to safely cross again, but I fear that it may not be in this life. We'll try again next time. This I swear to you. Okay, well, going to be a little while, I guess. And again, Clara couldn't breathe. That day, Nell called in sick for her to Clara's work. She knew it was better than trying to force her to do it on her own, not when she was well. Clara herself had never verbally described this state. Nell, on the other hand, had a few different terms. Clara preferred it when she used flowery language: love sickness, longing, limerence. Depression was the one that made the most sense to Nell, though, if she was being honest. But when speaking to officials that could impact Clara's life, she stuck with saying that Clara was simply sick. Well, I guess that's the easy way. Though she was never happy to see Clara like this session of depression felt particularly rotten to Nell. She swore she remembered Luna saying she would do her best to avoid this, and yet it was almost as though Nell had thoroughly failed at her job. By inviting Luna in, she guaranteed that this would occur. She wasn't sure who she was more angry with, Luna or herself. Well, like it's not like it's her fault, but also like the impersonation thing is very much her fault. But I don't know like how how much of that is like, well, like matters in this case, but still not a nice thing. Deciding that placing blame didn't truly matter, Nell set a tray with oatmeal and orange juice on Clara's desk. Clara didn't stir, but this was not unexpected. Dash. It took a day before Clara could even string enough words together in her head to form a coherent thought. It wasn't like she was proud of it, but that unfortunately didn't change anything. She hadn't responded to Luna. She was told not to, after all. In essence, frankly, it took all of her restraint to not flush her phone down the damn toilet. Okay, well. I like, texting would be more efficient than flushing the phone down the toilet. Anyone was free to reject anyone for any reason. This is what she told herself. It was unfair of her to be mad at Luna, and she wasn't, not really. She just had let herself get her hopes up so high for this one. Frankly, the more Clara thought about it, the less sense it made. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I think too. She forced herself to crawl to work the second day, though the thought of seeing Luna out the window made her feel like vomiting. Thankfully, she found Luna didn't walk by. Luna didn't walk by any of the next few days either. Good, Clara thought bitterly. She didn't mean it. It was a week later. Clara was still drained, but things felt more manageable at least. She supposed if she said anything more than that, she would be told to see a therapist. The worst part was she probably should, but she still didn't like being told that. Besides, with her insurance, yeah, I guess there is that if you're in the US. Let me drink a little bit. Should have probably taken a little bit longer pause between the games, but oh well. I guess I'll try to take it easier and not rush through the game or anything to make it a little easier on my voice. Alright, her attention failed to be drawn to the door opening, and she didn't even realize There was a customer until she finally turned to face the front. When she did so, she was met with an eccentric visage, just perhaps not the one she had been hoping for. Okay. Tall, beautiful. You're Clara, I presume. Okay, what is going on now? The man held his mouth out delicately. Clara, not having the brain power to go against suggestion, reached out and placed her hand against his. He took it, marking it with a gentle kiss. Utterly charmed. You are every bit as dashing as I have been promised. Clara looked around. This was strange. I beg your pardon, but do I know you? Not quite yet, I'm afraid. I apologize for robbing you of the opportunity to introduce myself. I'll introduce yourself. You may call me Lord Orion. I am but a simple denizen of the night, here to darken the doorstep of this fine coffee house. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not sure I'd go so far as call it fine. Don't tell the health inspector I said this, but I have to kill roaches sometimes, but anyways. Lord Orion, huh? Are you by chance an associate of Lady Luna's perhaps? I would wholeheartedly endorse that statement, but Luna is fickle, isn't she? Something shifted within Clara, like she had needed a sign not to give up. In the past, giving up was always the right thing to do, but she would feel life churning in her stomach again. She is? Well, I guess. I would certainly say so. Again, I'd apologize for troubling you while you're at work, but is there any chance that the two of us could speak? I find myself staring at the mystery that I hope your perspective may help me solve. Oh, of course, She glanced up at the clock. The story's about to close anyway, and it's been slow. I'll just lock up early. Your kindness knows no bounds. No, I'm not sure like what this guy is up to. Clara enjoyed the closing shift. While she liked waking early in the morning, there was an appeal to the night too. Lord Orion, right? Would you like anything to drink while we talk? Oh, nothing other than your blood, my dear. Well, not exactly surprised by this turn of events. Clara stopped for a moment, debating how serious of a request that was. Sounds pretty serious to me. I jest. Unless... I think that may be a health code violation, unfortunately. The so-called FDA never allows any fun. For now, I shall settle for one of your cute little human drinks instead. Orion paused, briefly glancing at the menu. Perchance, do you carry boba? Yeah, this drinks really like comes up in like every game. So far I think it's some kind of tea, but I'm not sure. I wish. Very well. If it is truly of no trouble to you, I suppose I could accept a cardamom mocha. And that is coffee, I guess. It is a long night after all, and I am just now rising. After instructing Orion to take a seat, Clara began his order with a brain full of questions, an improvement from its previous contents. Though they seemed quite different at a glance, and the way they interacted with the world seemed like night and day, Lady Lona and Lord Orion were clearly cut from the same cloth. It was not unexpected that Luna had other accomplices. However, she had never spoken of anyone previously, so therefore every little detail was left a mystery. Oh, you're also like one of those people who never talked about yourself, right? We all need to tune out the volume a little more. This was a new sort of battleground to Clara. She reminded herself to think this interaction through carefully. She didn't want to fall right into the hands of danger that Luna always warned her about, so she'd have to be cautious. She couldn't go giving away any vital info, of course. Luna often spoke of living a perilous life. Clara didn't want to do anything to add to that, so she just had to keep her cool. Finally, she took 2 mugs, Orion's mocha, and a rose latte of her own. It's never too late for a latte after all. And sat at the table, Orion took the cup, immediately taking a sip. My girl, this is an excellent mocha. The finest I think I have ever had. Normally a compliment like that would disarm her, but this was cautious Clara mode. Oh, thank you. Nailed it. She was so nonplussed now with the questioning. So you know Lady Luna then? Yes, she and I have a long intertwined history. Surely she has mentioned me. Nope. At least once? Well, we have only really known each other for a month. That is like her, I suppose. Clara considered this judgment, but found that she couldn't judge very hard when her literal twin sister hadn't even come up in conversation. I am aware that you know what she is. Orion leaned in closer. I doubt she informed you of such, but reapers and vampires have shared a long cohabitation in the shadows. Yes, you are like vampires, you know. So like the night and stuff. It is in their very nature to chase us as dogs do metal steeds. Well, metal steeds is cars, I guess. Yet despite this difference, I do find myself with a fondness for her. All of this to ask a rather simple question, I suppose. Have you spoken to Luna lately? 1 week ago, Lady Luna decided that it would be in my best interest to break contract with me. This was a phrase she had found herself rehearsing for some reason, despite having no audience for it, other than perhaps herself. Well, that is like pretty like Lady Luna kind of way to put it, I guess. The fact that she was able to say it so plainly without even stuttering once was impressive. Ah, a week you say? Yes, everything is coming together, isn't it? I suppose it could be said that I have a theory that I wish to confirm with your assistance. If you possess the fortitude, could you possibly tell me more about your final encounter with her? Before she could prevent it, Clara took a sharp breath. A look of concern passed Orion's face. Of course, with an uncomfortable feeling in her gut, Clara tried to recall that day. While I was at home baking, my twin somehow managed to go out and trick Luna into thinking she was me. Goodness, mistaken identities. This is already much more exciting than I assumed. Anyways, Nell, my sister, brought her back to our place afterwards, and she was a little shaken by. She seemed fine. Like, we sat and ate cookies and talked for hours after. Then she said she had to go. On her way out, she tripped over my stupid sister's stupid wires. Then she left. She was clearly upset then, but I don't know why. Orion listened closely as Clara spoke, paying great attention to every detail. Then, the next morning, she just messaged me, saying that she couldn't see me anymore, for my own good. And I'm sure she's right, but it still hurts, I suppose. It is so ironic, is it not? Well, I don't know, like, if it's exactly ironic. Kind of like, oh, hard to say. Lady Luna is always telling others what to do for their own good, yet she is never doing the same for herself, is she? Can I confide something in you, Clara? I hope so. Once upon a time, Lady Luna was younger. I suppose it could even be said that we were young together. She has had her curse for a long time, for as long as I have known her. However, over time, something within her has changed, as things do within all of us, I suppose. Though she could never be described as warm, we used to share a much closer bond. But one day, she did nearly the same thing to me. The same thing, like tripped to your wires and then dumped you. The silence, the brooding, the ghosting. She had decided that she could no longer abide the danger she put me in, ignoring, of course, that I am more than capable of handling peril. Like, is it ghosting if you just well tell that you're done? Like, isn't ghosting like you just like disappear without saying anything? Though I guess it depends. Like, maybe there are different levels of ghosting. Like the level 3 ghosting is that you just disappear. Level 2 ghosting is that you say something cryptic and disappear, and so forth. At the time, I was not strong enough to prove her wrong. However, more and more as time goes on, I feel as though Luna perhaps finds excuses to avoid her own needs, companionship, for example. ... I was thrilled to hear she had found a new assistant. Then, just now, dismayed to learn this tragic twist. You speak to Lady Luna nowadays, right? She told you about me, so you must have spoken to her recently. Yes, that is correct. Though, if I'm to be honest, I must admit that at times she eludes me still. I have fought my way back to acknowledgement, but it was not quick. Well, probably, depends on what is quick like in like this this one per time scale, but like if quick is like the Lady Luna's text message that like we'll meet in the next life, then a lot of things are quicker than that. But that is because I waited. I let years pass before I began to mend that particular bridge. You're trying to say that you think I shouldn't do that? Clara's thoughts felt slow, but she was trying to interpret Orion's meaning. Luna has not allowed herself a single happy day in millennia. As far as I can tell, I think she simply realized she may be forced to have one if she stayed with you. Yeah, I guess. Maybe the cookie eating was like that, and then like she got like tripped on the wires and realized that like, oh yeah, it needs to be crappy, so can't have that. Clara's ears burned at hearing this thought explicitly vocalized. Chasing had always been a behavior she was cautioned against, and yet you stalked her. I doubt she'd even respond to my messages. Luna has never been a particular fan of technology. Perhaps you should consider something more her language. Okay. You know what? You're right. The game's not over. Hasha. That is the energy I like to see in a healthy young woman. Interrupting their conversation, a knock could be heard at the door. Clara stood, figuring she should figure out the source of the disturbance. It's Nella. But when she did so, found herself face to face with her reflection with nose ring. Oh! She jumped up, unlocking the door and allowing Nell to enter. I just noticed you were running a little late, and I figured I'd make sure everything was okay over here. Now, like, I guess even though like she's like the whole like impersonation thing was was a little bit too far going. Like I guess this behavior is fine, showing that you care. Just like depends on like how you show it, I guess, like whether it's good or bad. Like if you go impersonating people or stalking people, then yeah, maybe you're showing that you care, but might not be the best way. Of course, she was loath to admit it, but Nell had spent the last week anxiously ensuring that Clara made it to the places that she was supposed to be. Every time a concern in her stomach would grow until she finally saw Clara alive and well. Right here, I just... Oh Christ, another one! Nell exclaimed, not allowing Clara to explain what she was just. Goodness, you must be Nell, I presume. Oh, feeling a little burnt, aren't you, Clara? Now you tell people. Orion stood to greet her with a polite bow. You may call me Lord Orion. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Similarly to how he had introduced himself to Clara, he convinced Nell to give him her hand, again kissing the back with a certain delicateness. Hey, this one's kinda suave, actually. She shot him with a pair of finger guns, which he happily mimed himself receiving. Is it my bedtime, Mom? Not yet, sweetie, but you should probably be getting ready for bed. Clara turned to Orion again. Thank you for talking to me. Did I help you solve your mystery at all? Or did I just talk about myself? That is probably the mystery. Oh my dear, you did both, and I thank you for it. I simply desired to know what Luna has tucked away in her bonnet this time, and I believe I have found an explanation. I trust that you have a plan on how to proceed. With that, I suppose I'll be off, ladies. It was an absolute treat to meet both of you, however briefly. Perhaps you will find a method to contact me if you so desire. Farewell. Bye, nice to meet you. Clara and Nell waved as Orion wandered off into the night. So does this cafe like give a discount if you come in costume? Maybe it should start. Clearing the table that she and Orion had sat at, Clara's brain began to kick itself back into gear. Perhaps this was the test she had been studying for, so to speak. Clara went to bed that night with a still mind. It was relief after such a long period of turbulence. But now she had something to look forward to in the morning. Plotting was always such fun. Alright. Following her conversation with Lord Orion, Clara found herself regaining some of the direction she had previously lost. She sat at her desk, surrounded by scraps of notes. It was foolish perhaps, but Clara felt as though she was solving a riddle. How was she to impart the unfairness of the situation to Luna? Making her opinion heard wasn't a skill she was well practiced in, therefore the planning. Well, I guess this is like the kind of thing I would have on social media, like I will think how will I say it, and then I try to write it down and it doesn't work, and then I backspace and try again, and that kind of process. There were many angles to consider. There was the method of communication, of course. Clara felt as though this was a matter best handled in person. Well, that makes sense. This, unfortunately, was complicated by Luna having changed her routes to avoid her, or his routes, maybe it's routes. This was not insurmountable though, she just needed a compelling enough hook to lure Luna in. Then of course, there was the main event, making Luna understand her feelings and reconsider her position. At first, she had tried writing words, things she could say out loud, with enough forethought. However, despite her best efforts, nothing seemed right. Whilst mourning this failure, a memory nagged at Clara. It had been something Orion said the night before. Perhaps you should consider something more her language. More like the every word capitalized kind of a language then. Clara cleared her thoughts, trying to put herself into Luna's shoes. Before long, the perfect plan had developed in her mind. She stood, locking away her notes. Now, do we get the newspaper? What year exactly do you think it is? The shouted exchange between rooms was brief. Clara gathered her things. She needed supplies. What for exactly? Thankfully, newspapers were easy enough to find. With a simple trip to the corner store nearby, she went to do just that. Upon returning, Clara dropped the armful of newspapers she had purchased. To the slight confusion of the convenience store clerk at her desk. Locals lock up their pets in fear of increasingly bold wild bear population. Okay, that is like occasionally, like over here. Here you have like people basically do this because they are like overly like cautious of wolves, but like never bears. Clara looked at the stack of newspapers before her. As a child, she had used them for all sorts of crafts. This felt like a homecoming. She smiled to herself as she cut letters out lovingly. Oh, she's making like the black milk kind of a letter, I guess. Lady Luna stepped into the front door of the Tanaka mortuary. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like she works here, right? So you can just like meet her here. If she was being frank, she hadn't slept lately. The fact that she needed to sleep was insulting in itself, and having difficulty doing so just added another layer of insult. Nevertheless, she had a duty. As she had expected, Sen was sitting at the front desk. I have arrived. I can see that. The woman began rummaging through some papers nearby. Here are this week's. She handed her a manila envelope full of names and clippings, obituaries. As always, I thank you for your assistance. Are you feeling okay, Luna? Does he actually work here? Or is it just like... Well, basically visiting like all the places to figure out like where to do the reaping thing or something. Kind of hard to tell. Yeah. Would you accept a well-meaning lie? Obviously not. I wouldn't ask if I was just going to let you avoid the question. I wouldn't ask. I am troubled. Usually, it eventually comes. For all who breathe, I assume you would understand this claim more than most correct. Pretty sure it comes for some things that don't, if you are being technical. Does there lie malice in dying? Or in letting someone die? Is the place to play God? I thought playing God was your favorite hobby. Sen responded quickly, in the way that someone does when a topic comes up often, but it appeared this observation did not help Luna's troubles. In one direction is everything you could ever want, and in the other, your own misery. And yet, are we not selfish and short-sighted for selecting the first? To Sen's relief, she could hear the jangle of the mortuary door open. The visitor was, surprisingly, someone they both recognized. Oh, Orion. Sen, my lady, looking chipper as ever, I see. Orion deeply bowed. Luna looked away. I am simply destined to be haunted on this day. Have no fear. I'm not here to trouble you, not for myself anyways. My lord, you have never troubled me, I'm assured. You understand the difference? In your eyes, In your eyes, can a mere mortal discern such a thing, I wonder? Nevertheless, I unfortunately must trouble you at the behest of another. If I am not mistaken, I believe you may know her. Orion produced an envelope from one of his many pockets, holding it for Luna to take. Printed on it in box letters were the words, "To those responsible for Clara Newland." It was affixed to my door with a knife, Quite dramatic, don't you think? How strange. I wonder why they sent it to you. A mystery. Perhaps they saw me speaking with Miss Newland the other day. I did briefly meet with her. Or perhaps I am simply easier to locate than Luna is. Luna found herself frozen, completely unable to move. It was as if she was paralyzed by the letter Orion held in his hand. But I disavowed her. There is no reason. Then, sensing Luna's hesitation, retrieved the letter from Orion and opened it. Her eyes scanned the contents. A piece of paper covered in letters cut from a newspaper. Okay, it is the blackmail kind of letter then. At least like the blackmail kind of letter that they would have in movies. Like for the record, I never blackmailed anybody. A ransom note, it says, "We have your familiar and she is in grave danger. If you would like to ensure her safety, appear at the following location." Her brows knit in concern, looking at the craftsmanship of the note. I think this may be some kind of trick or something, Luna. There's no way it's real. Before the words even exited her mouth, Luna grabbed the letter from her hands. If it is a trick, it is one of my own creation. That is real enough for me. So does he like realize that Clara is has made the letter or something? She scanned the note, freezing again when she saw that the demanded meeting time. When she saw that the demanding meeting time barely an hour from now. This is entirely my fault. That is difficult to say for certain. However, I feel as though future may be more important than fault. What are you to do, my lady? Lady Luna stared at the note. What was he going to do? Now the things are getting interesting. Like probably not the best way to handle like relationship issues, but I'll let it slide this time. After finishing the note, Clara figured that the next matter of business should be finding the right assistant. It was hard to kidnap yourself after all. She needed a willing kidnapper, someone that was used to this kind of work. For some reason, Craigslist came to mind. That's like that site still exists. No, like, I don't know, like if the S is there, was there, but oh well. Casting call, seeking improve actor, paid, another scam. In her post, she explained that she was a content creator looking for someone to participate in an epic prank video for her channel. She was mostly sure this is what people online talk like. Yeah, that sounds very YouTube, I guess. Like this is how you get viewers, I guess, but not my thing. Of course, this video would never surface, but she would pay them for their work anyways. She's not cruel. There was a nervous patter in Clara's head. that told her she was being perhaps a little much. But she tried to put those worries aside. It wasn't like she was hurting anyone, and besides, Luna herself was known to indulge in a bit of prestidigitation from time to time. Yeah, I'm not sure like if enough to do like ransom and kidnap fakes. It didn't take long at all for someone to respond to her listing. As it turns out, actors love improved pranks. Okay, well that's good to know. Good to know, like I can cast people for my games like this is going to be like an improved prank. Can't pay anyone though because I don't have money. Clara considered what was left. She had a note and a kidnapper. All that remained were the small details. She had devised a clever ploy regarding the note's delivery. Specifically, the ploy's name was Orion. Thankfully, he had snuck his phone number into her pocket whilst she wasn't looking. Well handy. Along with the cordial reminder that she was always to reach out to him for any reason. Given this sympathy for her, she figured it would not be hard to get his assistance. She had requested that he deliver the note to Luna, a task he seemed assured he could complete. She had already decided on the location when she wrote the note, a lovely bridge near the edge of town, away from many onlookers. And with everything else complete, she found she was prepared to select the time with as little fanfare as she could muster. She placed the dated note in its envelope. This had to be enough. Well, kind of like I guess a date note too, but a really weird one. On the day of the kidnapping, Clara gathered herself. However, when she went to leave, she found an obstacle in the living room. Her sister. Where you headed? I'm going for a walk. It's been a while since I have enjoyed nature after all. Just be careful. I think it's supposed to rain today. I will see you later. Clara waved Nell a pleasant goodbye as she walked out. What she didn't know couldn't hurt her. Besides, Nell always got weird with this sort of stuff, like the ransom kind of stuff. No wonder. Oh, this looks very much like Finland, like this kind of a scene. Like wouldn't be surprised like if somebody could take like this kind of a photo, like somewhere over here. The bridge that she had selected for her encounter with Luna was on the outskirts of town. Taking a car would have been too suspicious, so today she was at the whims whims of public transit. Thankfully, the bus ride was quiet and uneventful. She found herself staring out the window, rehearsing her plan over and over again in her imagination. When the bus arrived at the closest stop, she had to walk the last leg of the journey. She had made sure to arrive plenty early so she could take her time. The clouds were growing grey, as Nell had warned her about. She passed by a murder of crows roosting on a telephone wire, and they cawed callously at her as she passed. This felt like an omen. She hoped a good one. Well, I have more than a few like bad feelings about this, but hopefully everybody will be fine. She got to the bridge about an hour early, as she had anticipated. Being an early arrival was a curse, because waiting was absolutely the worst part of doing anything. Oh, nice rain effect. Shortly after she arrived, the rain started. It chilled her skin, yet that brought an almost welcome distraction. Should have taken the umbrella. After half an hour, the hired actor made an appearance. Hey, I'm Clara. Clara stood, looking down at her somewhat pathetic wet appearance. Yes, I apologize for the rain. I didn't realize it when I started it. It's okay. You said this was just rehearsal, right? That's right. I actually wanted to ask about that rehearsal for improv. Yes, I know that may sound unusual, but I just wanted to run through things first with an actress, make sure all of our props work is solid. Clara had read the Wikipedia page for improv comedy and hoped that it had properly equipped her for questions she wasn't sure how to answer. That makes sense. Yeah. But just as a heads up, the other actress is going to be really intense. She's like a method actor. The man nodded understandingly. Don't worry, that's just her style. Say you signed that release form I sent you, right? I sure did. What do I look like? An amateur? The slight chuckle of acknowledgement, Clara stood there awkwardly. She didn't particularly know what to say to this man. While they waited, finally I thought, right, I gathered some props since I thought that would really help sell everything. She reached into her pockets, producing a pair of handcuffs and a gun. Wow, a fake gun. A visibly fake gun. But that was probably for the best. Like the NES chopper, I guess. I'll imagine something like that. Well, I hope Lady Luna likes the handcuff play. Yeah, here. You get comfortable with this while I get this on. Clara tossed the gun, glad that her sim wasn't quite crazy enough for a real gun. Sounds good. Do you need any help or? I got it. Clara produced a pair of handcuffs that she had brought with her. As a precaution, they only clicked into place and appeared to work. However, they were easy to remove as needed. Yeah, like this. this game is like a different kind of comedy than I expected first. Like I was thinking like this would be like the butterfly soup kind of comedy, but this is more like the kind of comedy where the like what was the name of the comedy? Well, the kind of comedy where like they devise like a plan and it goes more and more awkward as time passes. With ease, she clicked them into her wrists. This is the heaviest bracelet I have ever worn. The actor chuckled politely. So, we just wait now, huh? Yup. Have you ever heard of Bitcoin? I have not. The half hour that followed passed extremely slowly for Clara. On the bright side, it certainly did help her feel as though she had been kidnapped. Well, I guess like if you listen to someone talk about Bitcoin. Oh, and there, the handcuffs are also there. Didn't realize first. When the meeting time arrived, Clara stood with the actor anxiously. Then 10 minutes passed. She's not coming. Wait, the other actor, did she bail? Clara turned, looking out over the water. I should have known she's not coming. The actor suddenly seemed slightly unsure of what to do. Are you effing kidding me, Clara? Clara jumped, turning to see her sister approaching from the ever harder rain. What's going on here? Who's this asshole? Are you in handcuffs? What? How did you? Oh shit, it's getting started. The actor straightened up, taking the fake gun that Clara had given him out of his pocket. Yep, it's going all wrong. I have kidnapped this woman and I will kill her unless... What? Chris, no, not now, not this one. Wait, I'm confused. Nell took a step forward. Okay, this is obviously crazy. Clara, let's just go home. No. Clara went to back up, but found that the bridge was preventing her. After a long moment of contemplation, she hopped up onto the edge of the protective chain link fence, bracing herself on a beam. Leave me alone now. Let me do this. You wouldn't get it. You surely wouldn't. Nell's eyes went wide as he instantly retreated a step. Clara, you don't. It will be okay. Can we just calm down for a minute? A roll of thunder filled their ears. Clara didn't move. She loved me. I'm stupid, but I could tell. I know I barely know her. Trust me, I know. But this time, it's just... I want her to save me. You don't need saving, Clara. The weather is getting worse. Whatever you're doing, we can try again later, okay? Nell did her best not to betray such things, but it felt like her heart was trying to escape her chest. All she could think was not again. Clara choked back a sudden sob, slowly starting to step off the edge. The rain made everything slick, causing her to stumble. The sudden movement seemed to generally cause everyone a moment of panic, but Nella was there to quickly clap Clara into a tight hug. Clara went to open her mouth to acknowledge and dismay any concerns that may have been caused by that situation, but she found herself unable to speak. Yeah, this is an iffy situation. Thankfully, Nell didn't seem to hold her silence against her. After a long moment, she released her sister with a sigh. Haha, okay, so that was a pretty good first rehearsal, I think. The actor seemed to relax, as if he was still unsure on the details of what he had just witnessed. Actually, I guess I had some questions. Clara gave a concerned glance sideways, standing in thought. Well, it is supposed to be sort of abstract. The things that happened next came quickly, too quickly to really grasp in the moment. First, Clara felt a sudden grabbing at the back of her sweater, then a strong pull backwards. Then Clara found could just barely make out the blur of motion, something falling quickly in front of her. She barely had time to observe that the falling object had fallen where she was standing just a second prior. Then a flurry of confused and concerned shouts. I had no idea what is happening. Clara fell to her knees, staring at the item that fell in front of her. A lighting fixture from the bridge above. Around her, people were talking. Nell was talking, touching her as if to check if she was okay. Clara finally turned her head, remembering the very reason she was here, not well there. The pull on the back of her sweater. Lady Luna. Okay. And indeed, before her was the lady herself. She wore a strange, severe expression and was still, like Clara, just staring at the what could have been. Luna's hand still clasped the back of Clara's shirt tightly, her knuckles turning pale. I couldn't let you. Yeah. Time froze for Clara, and the sting of the cold rain fell into the background. Luna was there. Yeah, she sure is. In the most awkward possible situation. She could not believe just how perfect it all was. Well, like perfect in what way? Like what exactly is perfect about it? You saved me. She grasped her chest, finally able to breathe. I really think we should go home, Clara, before anything else can happen. I pray the sin I just committed passes silently. Sin. Just to be clear, is the scene still going? The girls turned to look at the stranger. I'm so sorry about all this. I know it's a little confusing. As Clara spoke, she watched the man give a confused look, then slowly sink to the ground. Oh my god. Clara dashed in, trying to determine why the man had suddenly collapsed. No discernible external symptoms, She had no choice but to begin performing CPR. Okay. She could hear Nell calling an ambulance in the meanwhile. It took 6 minutes for that ambulance to arrive. When they did, Clara left her name and phone number with the attendant in case they needed anything else from them. Then the man and the ambulance were gone. The 3 girls stood in silence, no one quite wanting to be the first to speak. Yeah. Finally, Nell sighed. Come on, Clara, let's go. The car's parked pretty close. Clara paused, glancing to Luna. Come on, give Luna a ride back to you, at least to our place, so we can talk. With a grimace, Nell simply nodded in agreement, not like she had a choice. Well, didn't expect like them to chap the guy. Like I had it like in the suspicion list, but I was hoping not. Oh well, I'm sure he'll be fine. The ride in the town was quiet and tense. Nell filled the vocal gap with loud music, wanting to altogether eliminate talking as an option. Finally, they arrived at Clara and Nell's apartment complex. The girls piled up the stairs, and after a brief conversation, Clara led Luna to her room. Upon entering, the smell of rose immediately hit Luna's nose. Clara sat on her bed, patting for Luna to take a seat. The bed was soft, covered in pillows and stuffed animals. Luna found herself wanting to sink into it and to never have to speak again. Found like no surprise given like the circumstances. Unfortunately, the silence was eventually broken regardless. Yes, there's something you would like to talk about, my lady. You seem unwell. Obviously, Clara understood that the whole thing had been a little intense, so perhaps it was an insensitive thing to ask. She chose to speak up regardless. Luna sighed. There was not something she was proud of. I had hoped that cutting myself from your life would help avoid this, and yet, here we are. Yeah, well, like, that is kind of the cause of this situation, but also like the cause is that she's kind of a blockhead. No, see. Clara gestured to herself. I'm fine, and the actor. Clara realized that she didn't know his real name, only his email, however, referring to him as 420packups@gmail.com felt disrespectful. That was terrible, but there's nothing we could have done. You know that's right. It is with regret that I must tell you the truth of the situation, Clara. The truth? I have been clear that the situation of a Grim Reaper is not one of luxury. It is loaded with responsibility and gory reality. This is true in many ways. Bearing that in mind, I will allow us to revisit the nature of my touch. I carry with me a general miasma, a poison, if not physically, then surely psychically. It rubs off on those I touch, ruining them slowly. But there is more. Physical touch instantly imparts upon me a dark truth, knowledge that is a Grim Reaper's obligation to know. And that would be, well, you touched her, didn't you? So you probably kind of know like what is going on, if that's how it works. Something felt strange. Normally when Luna spoke about being a Reaper, it was a fun distraction. Yeah, sure, it's super fun. A campfire story for Clara to enjoy for hours. However, each human has a due date, a time in which they are meant to perish, or perhaps when they are supposed to. When I make contact with a human, I become aware of this due date. And that's kind of like in one of the novels I read, like a lesbian fiction novel. And as a public servant, it would be a betrayal of my duties to interfere. That is the way of the world. I knew you were meant to die today. I had known for days. Oh, I see. So like, like the thing that, like the part of the bridge that was meant to squeeze her, I guess. Upsetting the natural order, as I just did, is ill-advised. I suspect that man's death was a decision that I made. But there is something that even I am unsure of. Was that man your kidnapper? I suppose I have something to confess as well. But I guess then it is just a due date thing that she knows, and like not the like less uncomfortable details. Oh, I guess that's also an uncomfortable detail, but well, it's just that man was just an actor. I hired him to, well, it almost felt silly to say out loud. She tried to form her mouth around the words. I missed you. I just thought that you're always so dramatic, so maybe this would get your attention. Yeah, well, like, like, I don't know, like, if that's the way to do things. Like it is kind of like, you know, like if you had like somebody, like you're, well, like for example, like you're dating somebody and they kind of get into drama too often, and then you're like, oh, they like drama, so I'll make some extra drama because they like that. And it didn't it? Well, that sure got her attention, but Luna didn't entirely know how to respond to this information. The seed of a suspicion had already been planted. However, it felt difficult to believe. Clara had a certain veneer about her, a soft blanket that made it seem as though she couldn't possibly be sharp beneath. But these words contained an unexpected set of fangs that bore into Luna. The feeling was strange and new, but not altogether unpleasant. Well, I guess then So good for her that she's into drama makers. Regardless of the cause, there was something I realized the moment I received that note, something I simply could not escape. You were only there because of me. I could not allow you to die for my foolishness. But that is true, I guess. But well, these words lit a fire within Clara. Although already well aware of what Luna was telling her, that Luna did save her. And an innocent man pays the price for my decision. Of this I am sure. Well, maybe the ambulance people will do their job. Clara eyed Luna sympathetically. If she was being honest, she had previously been a bit unsure on the thought of Luna literally being a Grim Reaper. Well, like, maybe she just likes weirdos then, like, I don't know, like she was then going on like, yeah, like she's pretending to be a Grim Reaper, but surely she's not, but I like that. Something like that. However, this was somewhat compelling evidence, certainly nothing to sneeze at. But if that was true, wholly true, Clara would be forced to readjust some of her priorities. But this was all something she was fortunate enough to be able to think about later. For what it's worth, I'm alive. Clara faced Lady Luna, leaning in. My heart still beats because of you. Luna could feel the heat emanating off of Clara's cheek. She could feel herself breathing in Clara's still humid breath. These small proofs of life brought her joy. That is no small prize. And it's not like I wanted to die either. You can't blame yourself for trying. It's not like you were trying to kill him. Yeah, well, neither Clara knew if Luna knew that for a fact, but she assumed that was not the intent. Luna supposed that the sentiment was true enough. Thank you, by the way. I guess I haven't said that yet, huh? Thank you for choosing to save me. Yeah. When I looked in my heart, I knew I had no choice. How could I ask you to be my ally, then allow you to suffer for it? Over these last few weeks, you have become important to me, Clara. Though I know you were destined to be. I had hoped that avoiding you may have spared you from my curse, but that endeavor has failed. Well, it has. It has failed pretty spectacularly in more than one way. It is more vital than ever that I protect you. We are truly past the point of no return. Clara could feel tears coming to her eyes. This was everything she had ever wanted. Of course, I will do everything I can for you. The duo sat on the bed together for a while longer, content to exist in a relative silence. Finally, Luna spoke. It has been a most eventful day. I should allow you time to recover in peace. Mortals need rest. Right? You're right. A pause. Madame, you probably need rest too, right? I'm sure you're just as shaken up as I am. So don't slack off on that, okay? Make yourself a nice cup of tea and relax. Very well, I shall try. Farewell, Princess Clara. I shall see you again soon. Farewell, my lady. I await your call. Clara waved goodbye, and Luna sighed as she closed the door behind her. Unfortunately, it was only a short walk to the front room, where she spotted a not unexpected sight. Nell admittedly was not the most thrilled to see Luna. She could understand why. Fear not, this will not happen again. She delivered the line with conviction, as he always did. It was true, as it always was. Nell couldn't help but roll her eyes. Why are you so effing weird? Luna saw it fit to leave without further comment. As Luna climbed down the apartment stairs, she found herself with a strange feeling, one that took her a moment to place. Something terrible had happened, there was no doubt about that, and yet there was a lightness in her step. For the first time in several weeks, the pressure of Clara's impending doom was absent. Yeah, I guess like if she was basically distancing her from from Clara because she knew that she would die, kind of a thing. Clara was alive. Clara's heart still beat. It beat for her even. Luna was, of course, concerned for the natural order, for herself, and for any unforeseen consequences that may yet still strike. A decision was made that was not hers to make. She had done it selfishly, with little concern for the well-being for others. And for the first time in years, Lady Luna felt as though she had a reason to wake up in the morning. Perhaps there would be further repercussions for her, but she would take them by the horns and walk away victorious. As always, Clara sat with her journal at the end of a long day. Though it had its ups and downs, if she was being entirely honest with herself, today was perfect. Yes, you're like... Well, I wouldn't say it was perfect, like there was quite a few unfortunate things, but well, almost. Obviously, someone dying was not ideal. However, Clara still felt it hard to feel too bad about this supposed exchange of life. Or you should feel a little worse about it. This was one of those rare moments where she felt as though her planning had paid off. So Lady Luna probably is literally a Grim Reaper, huh? This certainly required a change in strategy. Thankfully, Clara found herself confident. If Luna was right about being a Reaper, she was probably right about that prophecy too. And she was sure she could be the person to free Luna. Perhaps it would be a much more interesting journey than she anticipated, but that just made it all the better. Clara wrote a simple sentence in her diary, the only thing about today that truly mattered. Lady Luna saved me heart. Then returned the journal to its hidden home. She went to bed that night happy at first. As the night went on, she couldn't quite fence off a lingering worry, one that wouldn't go away even when she thought about Lady Luna's thrilling rescue. It was something she hadn't been concerned about the day before, but all of a sudden it felt chillingly relevant. How much time did she have left now? Clara fell asleep regardless. That would be a problem for another day. As a reward for completing this episode, you may now access the pausing tool for from the main menu. Yeah, well, oh yeah, I guess the page said that this is like a multi-chapter game, and I guess they are working on the future chapters. Well, pretty interesting. Maybe I'll play like the future chapters at some point. Kind of interested to see where this is going, even though well, there are like a little bit of like dark humor, I guess. I like the characters just like nonchalantly going like yeah, the actor died, but it is alright, like it's just some guy from Craigslist. Oh well, like humor is difficult sometimes, I guess. Oh well, it wasn't interesting, right? At least like I guess like in this kind of, and well, in humor in general, I guess. Well, you just go for it even if it's a little iffy. Like in the butterfly soup, like the menstruation like humor thing is. Couldn't really write that kind of humor myself, and not really this kind of humor either, but oh well, I'm glad like other people can at least. But well, I guess that's that for now, and well, more queer games coming up next week if you're watching live and such. Oh, and by the way, like I think it was the 17th of June, I will actually be doing like an official stream for the Queer Games bundle. Also, like the time will be slightly different than usual, but I'll let you know about that. Let me actually double check that I got the day right. Yeah, June 17th, like it is the first slot of like that day's like streams. Well, most likely like all of my streams, like the official ones, will be the first slot, because that is like also like closer to evening for me, and like the later slots are like night, and I'm not that much of a vampire at the moment. At least like not enough to have like the energy to stream at night. But yeah, in addition to that, like Tuesday and Thursday will also be like unofficial streams from the bundle. Will be interesting games. Like, let me see. Oh yeah, the next game is Durivania, so that will be interesting, like a very different kind of game, like platforming and Game Boy kind of fun, I think so. That will be exciting for sure. But yeah, thank you for watching, and like see you next week, I guess. Bye bye.